going.
And sometimes taking it to Paris. Showdown in the Forrester Mansion. Give me back my baby.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm David from Take Two Radio Soaps and Review, and with me tonight, joining me is my friend Anthony.
Holla, holla, holla.
My friend Carolyn.
Hi, David. Hi, David.
And our girl Candace.
Candy
What's up,
girl.
everybody? I am your
And
world.
tonight,
There you go.
Yep, we do.
Yes, you are.
Tonight, we have a very special show for you. We have the iconic Jacqueline Zeman, who plays Bobbie Spencer on General Hospital, but she's also known to play Sophia Madison on the Bay. And are we all excited for her?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
And
yes.
let's not forget,
so
once
why
upon
don't
a
we
time,
just bring this on and find out?
Once upon a time, she was also Lana on One Life to Live.
Hello, this is Take Your Radio Soaps and Review. You have David speaking.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Jackie?
Hi, yes, hi.
Hi, Jackie.
Good evening.
The giggle. I love it.
Okay. Jackie, I'm David. You're acting co-host tonight for Pam, who is ill. And with us we have
Oh, well,
Anthony.
I'm happy to have you. I'm sorry for Pam. I hope she's going to be feeling better very soon.
Well,
but we'll
we'll
have
send
fun,
her your
and I hope she's
regards.
listening. Thank you.
Yep.
Please do.
She's listening.
White light, positive thoughts.
Absolutely.
And we have Anthony, Carolyn, and Candace joining me tonight. And we hope you have lots of fun with us.
Hello.
So, wait, I got to get the name. You're David, then Anthony,
I'm
Carolyn.
David.
Hello.
Carolyn.
You're Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
And Carolyn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi. And
Hi, Jackie.
did you say
And
hello? And Candace.
And Candace. Yeah.
Candace.
Hi.
Hi, Candace.
Hi.
Well, we're a fun group, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. We're all
You have
over
no
the
idea.
We are
but
so
I'm sure I'm about to find out.
we are so thrilled to have you.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'm very happy to be on with you. We'll have a lot of fun, I'm sure.
So
Well, David, start the question.
I'm going to start with some questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. This is from Pam. She had her questions out. It says, you started out in ballet but moved to acting. What was it about acting that made you want to do that over ballet?
Well, it wasn't so much that I wanted to do over. I think you have to, you have to, particularly in this business, be as good as you can at as many things so that when auditions or job opportunities come up, you have those qualifications. So, my first actual acting part was in kindergarten. We did a play called Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I was the moderator, the narrator, and the teacher told, Miss Lewis was my teacher, and I was 5 at the time, and she told my mom that the reason why she picked me to be the moderator because she thought I could remember the lines and the story, and I got to sit right next to Miss Lewis when she was playing the piano when the kids were doing the acting, and then I was reciting what was going on in the story. So I guess I got bit by the acting bug right around the same time I started dancing.
Oh, that sounds really nice. And every once in a while, you do go back to the dancing part.
Well, when we do the nurses' ball on General Hospital, I do, yeah. It's so much fun. It's really a fun thing to do. I love it, I think, for anybody who loves dance, whether or not you ever, anybody who ever took a dance lesson, a ballet class, or a tap class, or an acrobatic class, I think it becomes part of your spirit, part of your heart, part of your passion. And even though, you may not do it professionally or get paid for it or take classes, as you go through life, you always have that love for dancing. My mother used to tell me when I was a little girl, marry a man who likes to dance. You'll always have a good time when you go out to dinner and you go to a wedding. I swear to God, she told me that when I was 8 years old, and I never thought it.
That's true to form, isn't it?
Yeah, and my first husband, Murray Hoffman, was a disc jockey, Murray the K, and he loved music and he loved to dance. And my mama was absolutely right. I always had a great time at parties and dances.
Wow. Oh,
so
wow.
see, Mama had words of wisdom.
Yeah, they usually do, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I have some news. My daughter's pregnant. My oldest daughter, Cassidy, who, any listeners that are listening that know me, been watching me for, a million years on TV, know Cassidy. She's now 28 years old, but it feels like just yesterday that she was born. She's pregnant, baby girl due December 30th.
Oh,
I
wow.
still have, I swear when she was born, well, I have 2 daughters, Cassidy and Lacey, and when both my girls were born, I still have baby blankets and gifts and clothes and things that people sent to me for my girls when they were born. The baby blankets and things that people hand knitted that are so gorgeous. I saved, I'm like a very sentimental person. I saved these things in a trunk. I call it Encore. It's a trunk. It's in my house. My mom gave it to me. I have 2 sisters. She gave all 3 of us. They used to call them hope chests, but I call them Encore because it's to keep keepsakes and important things to relive and experience them again. And I have these baby blankets and things in this chest, and I've got to get them, wash them, clean them, and give them to my daughter, Cassie. Well, a couple of them for her to use for the baby.
Oh,
so, there you go.
Great.
How nice is that? So anybody, if you're listening and you sent me a baby blanket, 28 years ago Cassidy was born, or 27 years ago when Lacey was born, it's being recycled and is still loved and appreciated and is going to be used again.
Wow.
Maybe you can sneak your favorite one on screen for Carly.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll have to see how that plays out, huh? That's a big question mark right now.
We were going to have to see. So we love you, as many other fans do on General Hospital, but we're also enjoying your role as Sophia Madison on the Bay. Did they ask you to use a Southern accent, or is that something you chose to do? And what's it like being out of your Bobbie Spencer role?
It's so fun. First of all, I adore, everybody on the Bay. Gregory Martin put the show together and, writes it, produces it. And Wendy Ritz, who was our executive producer on General Hospital for a decade, a whole entire decade, whom I adore. We have, anybody who watches the Bay knows everybody on there is absolutely incredible. We have an incredible family and group put together. And I play Sophia Madison, the mayor's wife, married to Dick Coster, who incidentally is my friend who lives on his. I live in Marina Del Rey, and I can see his boat. His boat is right outside my window. He and Elaine have a big boat, a yacht. If you've watched the Bay, you've seen the yacht. It's the one we use that he uses as the mayor. We have the parties on it because he lets us shoot on it. Anyway, and it was actually Gregory Martin, our producer, director, writer's idea when he first called me. And the first time, actually, the way, you know how I saw in the Bay? I didn't have to audition. And this is how many years I know. I was on campus with my daughter, Lacey, and it was in the summer, and it was that day in July when the parents come, you know, for the freshmen, and you get to, like, walk around the campus where the dorms are. And, you know, after they're accepted, they're in the college, and then you walk around. So they take the kids. They took Lacey and all the students one, and they said to the parents, well, you could go walk around and, you know, just go see where things are. So as I'm walking around, my cell phone rings, and it's Tristan Rogers, who, you know, Max Scorpio on GH for years. I mean, we go back, you know, 30 years. I mean, my daughters grew up with his kids, with Sarah Jane and Cal. So anyway, he calls me and says, oh, well, I'm doing the show today, you know, and Gregory Martin was wondering if you'd be interested in coming on. I said, to work with you? Absolutely, I'd love to. So Gregory called me, and he said, we were talking, and he said, you know, would you be? I said, yes, I'd be thrilled. He told me some of the people that were on the show. I said, I'd love to do it. And then he said, by the way, can you do a Southern accent? I said, can I do a Southern accent? I love to do a Southern accent. when I was growing up, my aunt and uncle who actually lived in Cliffside Park, New Jersey, so they were Yankees, Yankees, moved to Maryville, which is right outside of Knoxville. And we would go down then. That was my dad's sister and family. And we would drive down every summer. We would all pile in the car, and we would drive down, the five of us, my two sisters, my mom, dad, and our dog, Gretel, and we would go visit my aunt. So I got familiar with the Southern accent because I would be down there every summer. So it was one of those things I didn't have to learn. I just, you know, had recall. It was really fun.
Recall is a great tool.
Recall. So, you know, I just want to also tell you, I do another show called Misguided. And I heard when you introduced me that you did mention Misguided, but it's a great show. It's a comedy, a dramedy, I should say. It's a comedy and drama. And it's written and produced and directed by Paul Goslin. And if anybody, some people already know about us. We've been on for a few seasons now, but it's misguidedseries.com, and it's an online, it's a web show right now. We haven't found a place on cable yet, but misguidedseries.com, and I hope people will tune in and watch, because that's where I get to play Mo, who is
you
Paul
sure do.
Goslin's mama.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. And you know, when you get hired to play somebody's mother, there comes a big responsibility to do a good job on something like that. So there we go.
Oh wow, it's another one to time for.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I hope you will. It's a really fun show. It's kind of a comedy, dramedy. It's edgy. It's kind of. I think you'll like it. It's fun. It's cool. A little different than what they could put on like a network show. You know what I mean? So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, like some dark stuff, some funny stuff, and the wonderful thing about it is that it's very unpredictable. So you never know in an episode which way it's going to go. If it's going to go sideways and be funny, or if it's going to go sideways and be very dramatic, or it's going to go sideways and just be a mixture of everything. So it's really fun working on that show.
Yeah, it's got a great quirk factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
actually watched that show.
So do I.
Yep.
See, it's catching on, Jackie.
All right, love that.
We're
love
gonna
that.
Get
Thank
it. We're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you first joined General Hospital, did you have the opportunity to meet Douglas Marland, and what were your first impressions of him?
Oh, Douglas Marland is in my heart today, was then, is now, and always will be. brilliant, not only, you know, as a legend in this business, but as an amazing, wonderful, kind, generous, smart, creative person, charming man, well-educated, classy guy. I mean, I just, oh, wow. Love that man. Love him. And, of course, he gave me my, you know, my start on GH. I met Doug Marland. I was actually, I was at a, Beatlemania was on Broadway. And at the time, I wasn't married yet, but my boyfriend was Murray Kaufman, Murray the K, who I later married. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching, in the audience, watching Beatlemania one night, you know, in house seats, and right next to me is a man. And we start talking, and turns out it's Fred Silverman, who at the time was head of programming for ABC. And we start talking, and he looks at me, and he says, "You're funny." He said, "Would you like to do a sitcom?" And I said, no, I like the soap operas. You know, I'm on the One Life to Live, One Life to Live, New York, and I really like the soap operas. Well, sure enough, and why I would say I didn't want to do the sitcom, but, you know, in those days, most women on sitcoms, you had to play kind of a stupid airhead. You know, that was most of the comedy, and that didn't appeal to me. So I said, no, I like the drama. And, well, sure enough, a week later, I get a phone call. Hi, would you be interested in going out to General Hospital? Because my character, I was Lana McLean on One Life to Live in New York, and I'd been there for 2.5 years. That's another story, but I was getting killed off, so it was ending, and they called and said, would you like to play Bobbie Spencer on General Hospital? We have roles coming up. We've tested a bunch of actresses. We can't find one that, you know, is right for the role, and it's yours if you want it, but you'll have to meet with Doug Marland first to, you know, really get the vibe and get the final seal of approval. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's because ironically, Murray's show, Beatlemania, is moving from Broadway to the theater out in California in Century City, and we had to move out to California. So the timing was perfect. I'm getting, you know, offered this part. So Doug Marland came to our apartment in New York. At the time, we were living at on Sherman Square, which is like 70th Street, Broadway, and it was a big, tall building. And we had a nice, like a 2-bedroom apartment there. It was really nice. It was a nice view, and but it was all decorated lavender. In those days, you know, I did it all in like a gray lavender color, and I had these like gold lame cushions all around, and it was like, I thought it was really pretty. I mean, I think about it now and I cringe, but at the time, you know, I thought it was really beautiful. And Doug Marland came to my apartment in New York. He lived in Connecticut, and he drove all the way into the city. And let me tell you, his home in Connecticut, every year his Christmas card was a picture of his house, and I didn't realize it was a picture of his house, because it was like a estate, a mansion, like a storybook, like on one of those Hallmark Christmas movies, that kind of house, you know what I mean? With the gate and the driveway and the long room and the icicles hanging from the trees and the beautiful, warm, lovely home. And then, you know, it wasn't until like I eventually started working there, you know, at GH and got invited like up to his house, and I went, oh my God, that's your business card, that's your real house. He was laughing. He's like, yeah. Wow. So he came and sat on the floor, and we hit it off right away. He was so, like, you'd think a man that is that successful and that, you know, like, who could hire any actress he wanted, because everybody, you know, of course, wanted the job. And, you know, at the time I was 24 years old, so how much experience does a 24-year-old have? You know, like hundreds of actresses would have, like, killed to get the part. And we talked for about 3 hours, and I felt so comfortable with him, and he didn't make me feel like I was auditioning. He didn't make me feel like I had to impress him. We just sat on the floor of my apartment and talked for like 3 hours, and then I kind of just looked at him at the end, and he looked at me and said, so, you want to do the show? And I was like, oh my gosh, does that mean you're offering me the part? And he's like, yep. He said, they'll call you tomorrow to work out all the details, but if you want it, it's yours. So I was thrilled. So that's how I met Douglas Marland, and I will be eternally grateful to that man, because he created Bobbie. He created Bobbie Spencer, and you know, the fact that Bobbie Spencer is still on TV 42 years later is a testament to how brilliant the man was when he created the character.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, there aren't too many things that last that long.
Story. Yeah.
Chico, who's been on
know
TV for 42 years. You know, and you think, okay,
Oh, God.
most news people, you'll say it's Barbara Walters or it's Diane Sawyer or, you know, or it's news or hosts
42 years.
that are really, really famous. You can't think of too many, you know, actors that stay on TV for 42 years.
That's true.
I've been lucky.
And that's a
I know
testament.
it's
True.
Yeah, that's a testament to you and your creativity and your craft. I mean, like you said, we can name shows that's been on for a very long time. But like you said, as an actor, an actress to be on a daytime soap for that long is astounding. It's amazing. It should be celebrated every single day.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you
really
so much. Well, I love it. I have to tell you, because I watched soap operas, you know, when I was a little girl with my mom and my grandma. So I grew up on them. I loved them before it never occurred to me that I would ever get on one. You know, nobody in my family was on TV or in the movies or anything in the business. I grew up in the suburbs in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and, you know, loved the singing and the dancing and took a lot of lessons and, you know, was in all the plays in high school. But at the time, I wasn't really sure I was going to make it as a professional actress. So landing a job on a soap opera was pretty exciting. You know, it was like, wow.
Yeah. I can imagine.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. So,
well, you know, a lot of it's our audience. The Scoop
go ahead.
audience, you know, is really loyal. And there's a very emotional connection between us as the actors and me as a person, not only as Bobbie, but as Jackie. Because nowadays, you know, you go out, like, the GH is a closed set, so we don't have a live audience. Nobody can come on the set. But we go out and we do personal appearances because I do a lot of them because I like people and I'm outgoing and I enjoy talking to people and hearing what people say. And nowadays with social media, where we all kind of know a lot more about, you know, people that we used to. You know, used to be you had to do an interview in a magazine, and 3 months later, you know, the magazine would come out with the interview, and God knows if it was even the same story. The situation's changed so fast. A lot happens in 3 months. Sometimes you'd be reading it, and, you know, the person isn't even married to the person they were married to, you know, 3 months ago, or they're all of a sudden going to have a baby, and they were single. You know what I mean? Nowadays with social media, everything is so of the moment. There's a very there's a lot of intimacy, and we get to know the people that we watch and people that we relate to really, really well. So I have to thank our audience wanting, you know, for still wanting to see the character after all these years and not becoming bored with her and saying, you know, especially for a mature actress like myself, you get, you know, lots of actresses in Hollywood, once you hit 40, you're playing grandma, and by the time you're 50, you can't even get a job.
Mm-hmm.
No.
In fact, how often do you see the audience itself screaming for more of a comprehensive storyline for Bobbie and yourself? Use Jackie. She can do it, and they're crying out on social media. We don't want these brief pop-in appearances. Put her in a storyline, a real storyline.
Yeah. Which is nice. So now they've dangled, you know, they started the diabetes. They give me the diabetes type 2, which I think is the reaction to that I've gotten from people has been really amazing because so many people are affected by that. And a lot of people, you know, it's in their family or it's their friend, but a lot of people don't really know what the symptoms are, don't know what to look for, don't know what the, you know, worst case scenario can become. So by giving it to me as a nurse, to Bobbie as a nurse on TV, it's been really good because Bobbie, you know, was momentarily in denial about having it, like a lot of people are. Not just people in the medical, especially people in the medical division, obviously, because they're around it all day. The last thing they want to do is go get a test, you know, for themselves after they've been doing it on other patients all day long. But people in real life are in denial. You know, people get sick or they're dragging or they don't feel quite good, but they don't go to the doctor. They're afraid. They don't want to hear the news. They don't want to take the day off from work. They don't want to lose the pay. They don't want to cancel the vacation. All the reasons that we can find to, you know, not interrupt our lives. You know, when we're out of fear, when we're afraid that, you know, something's going to change that. But I love that they wrote it. I hope that the writers will pursue it, continue with it. You know what I mean? And we had, you know, at the same time, what I love about doing it is they had finally Scotty proposing to Bobbie, Ken Shriner and Scotty. Yeah, and you know, Ken and I were the same age. We've both been on the show since we're 24 years old. We've been together forever. He's one of my best friends in the whole world, and we travel together. We do stuff together. Trish is his girlfriend, is like a really, really close friend of mine. I love him. So when we do the scenes, we just get a big kick out of it because we truly do have a very strong, close personal relationship. So it's kind of fun.
I bet.
And a little love in the afternoon never hurts.
Exactly, because Bobbie and Scotty have had the sexual spark for years. When I first came on General Hospital, he was there just right before me, a couple months before me, and Jeannie Francis was there, and we did the triangle, you know, with Scotty, Laura, and Bobbie, the triangle. Bobbie switched some pregnancy, pretended to be pregnant to try to get Scotty to, you know, away from Laura. I mean, we go back and have that history, but the main relationship between Bobbie and Scotty, there was always that sexual spark. So it's kind of fun now, decades later, to get to still play that. You know, things happen and people say, oh, could Bobbie and Scotty ever really get married? You know, because he proposes and Bobbie turned him down. Go, what is it? Why? Because you find out how diabetes, what is this, a pitch proposal? You're proposing me? No, I don't want to. You know, he compares it to, it says like being a comfortable stew. Wouldn't you like to just be, you know, be together? We know each other so well and so easy, kind of like an comfortable old stew. He's comparing
there you go.
Old stew. Are you kidding me?
He's so comfortable.
That writing was brilliant. It really was.
The scenes were fun, and Ken had just had a surgery. You know, we go dark a lot in General Hospital now. We go dark like 24 weeks a year. So we had just been dark for like 3 weeks, and while we were dark, he had to get a surgery done on his leg, on his knee, that from an old injury. And he says, the story Ken tells is that, you know, he and I did a tour. I guess it was the year before last, like a bunch of comedy clubs, a tour to celebrate our 40 years on General Hospital together, right? So we did this tour together, and we're flying in and out of cities and and we're in the airport, and the first place we went to was, you know, New York. We landed, I think it was LaGuardia, Kenny. I think it was LaGuardia, and like we get off the plane, and all of a sudden he says, "Hey, Jackie, wait up!" He goes, "All of a sudden you were like 20 feet in front of me." He goes, "And I couldn't keep up. I'm limping on my leg," and I realized I had to get the surgery. So we go dark for the 3 weeks. He goes in, he gets the surgery. You know, you learn. You can't ask the executive producer because what are they going to say? They're going to say, no, I'll get the surgery. I need you on the show in 3 weeks. And the recuperation for that is long. So long story short, while you know, he did the whole proposal scenes, he gets the script, get our scripts like a couple days, like 3 or 4 days before we're going to shoot it. And he has to call Frank Valentini, our producer, who's at his house in the Hamptons on vacation while we're talking, to say, hey, Frank, about the proposal scene, I actually can't down on one knee because I'm already on one knee. I'm on a scooter. I can't walk. So we got to rework the scene. So we played it as comedy, and Ken is great. Ken is a natural comedian. So we just did it funny with, you know, him on the scooter, and we changed all the dialogue. I'd get down on one knee, but I'm already on one knee. But, you know, it was really fun.
That's good.
Mm.
So my final question before I give you to Carolyn, is you and Valerie Harper have someone in common. You both had the opportunity to play opposite the late David Grohl.
David. Yeah.
What was it like playing opposite him and bringing the topic of domestic violence to daytime?
Wow. That's a good question. That's a big question. First of all, I adore David Grohl. And Valerie Harper, actually, and whenever I run into Valerie at something, we always laugh because we got to share David, you know, and we loved working with him. So that was a true gift. You say, oh, what gifts has the universe given you? And that's a big one in my life. David came in to audition for GH, and I had watched Rhoda, so I knew who he was. I mean, Rhoda! I could hear Rhoda in my ears, before he came in. And I was so excited because Gloria Monty was executive producer of GH at the time. We didn't even have to test him. He came in to Gloria Monty's office one day. He and I read together, and it was like you could have put it on TV. You know what I mean? Without a rehearsing, without a director, without marks, just like standing there saying the lines. He was amazing. And, that's hard to do as an actor, even for a seasoned actor like David. You come in and produce to make it so real. All I had to do was looking, and it was like, well. So, of course, he walks out of the office, and I'm like, Gloria, please. She goes, I know, I could tell. I know he's the one you want. Okay. When I said, because it was so perfect, knowing that we were going to do the spousal abuse, and it, we had scenes where he was literally going to push me down the stairs. Bobbie's going to have to get a hysterectomy and then could never get pregnant. That was where the story was going, and then we were going to go into the surrogate mother storyline later, So, and how brilliant to take a guy from a sitcom who was used to getting laughs and funny and putting him on as that character, because, as in life, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. People have secrets, family have secrets, and those scenes aired. First of all, when we were shooting those scenes, because at that time the show was probably like, we'd shoot a scene and it would be like 3 weeks before it would actually go on the air. So many people that worked at GH would come up to women mostly, come up to me and go and confide in me like that they grew up abused, that had been abused by someone in the family, that they sexually abused, that they'd been physically abused, that they'd been all kinds of things. And I guess they were confiding in me because they felt that because I was doing research on part, talking to people, that I would understand. I had no idea how prevalent that was in the world because I had no experience with it. We didn't have it in our family, that situation. Right. So working with David was a pure joy because it's a scary, dark storyline. And when you play, as an actress on a soap opera, when you play stuff that's really hard like that, it does permeate some of your spirit, some of your energy, So you have to be very careful to try and not create crossover and to try not bring that energy into your life off camera, off the set, which sometimes is takes some. You got to think about that, and you got to actively be proactive about making sure that doesn't happen. But working with David was a joy. We became friends off the set. We'd go out to dinner all the time. We used to go to this restaurant in Beverly Hills called La Familia. It was right on Cannon Drive. It was a really high-end, beautiful, wonderful Italian restaurant. We're both foodies. We loved to eat. We were always going out to dinner. David had a beautiful house. I love home and decorating, and I had a nice house at the time. I was living in Beverly Hills up off Coldwater. He had a beautiful house in Hancock Park, and it was like for a single guy. I was like, David, it was like a big house, and it was beautifully designed and decorated. He was truly artistic. He used to like his furniture. He was very well educated with furniture in different periods, and his house was decorated like as if you were a professional decorator. I said, who did your house? He goes, I did. And we're like, whoa, you're really good. So he, paid attention to detail like that. And later when he had a child, he named his child Spencer. So there you go. I never knew if that had anything to do with Bobbie Spencer being my stage name. He did pick Spencer. I don't think it was because my TV name was Spencer, but I think Spencer was in his mind because he had been hurted so much on the set. So funny how things, how it goes, yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah,
full circle.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for those questions.
Thank
Jackie,
you for those questions. Those were good ones.
Thank you. Carolyn, you're up.
Hey, Carolyn. Hi, Jackie. Hi. Hi. Great background stories. Thank you very much. Now, I read somewhere that you were a Playboy bunny. Is that true?
Absolutely. I was. And I loved it. I was the youngest funny because the day I turned 18, I went into the Playboy Club and I interviewed JD, was the bunny mother in those days, and I actually had gone into the Playboy Club like a month before I turned 18. I was 17. So I had been working in New York, and I was modeling, and I was doing really well. And so he said, you should go over to Playboy. Those guys make a lot of money over there. You'd be good. And I'm like, oh. So I went in there, and I met JD, and she said, you got to be 18. And I said, well, I will be in like 4 weeks. And she said, come back in 4 weeks. I did. And I got hired. I went in. She introduced me to the general manager, and then I had an interview, and then I had to put on a bunny suit, and they look at you, because obviously you have to look good in the bunny suit. And I got hired, and then they send you to, when you become a bunny, in those days, you had to learn to be a bartender. So they give you, of course, they taught, you had to know what was in every drink. You had to know how to mix every drink, even though we didn't actually mix them, or bartenders mix them, because it was like an order on a tray where you'd have to put the drinks, and you'd have to know what was in them, and the color, and what was in the glasses. And sometimes we'd be carrying a tray with 20, 25 drinks in it, so you had to know what they were.
Had to do the dip. You had to do the dip, right?
The bunny dip, yes. I did the bunny dip, which I could still do today in 4-inch heels, I have to tell you.
Oh.
And I loved it. And but the rule was, because of the, speaking of the Me Too thing and everything, the rule was in those days, you weren't allowed, if you were a bunny, you weren't allowed to date customers, the key holders. Not allowed. Yeah. So if a man said you're doing your bunny dip, or he would made a pass, or said, hey, you're single, would you like to go out? You had to say, I'm sorry, we're not allowed. One, it protected the girls from being in an uncomfortable position, but two, it was not allowed. And if they found out that you sneaked out with somebody, you were fired. Because the last thing Hugh Hefner needed was to look like he was running a different kind of business. He really just wanted to run a club and a restaurant. He wasn't looking to run or get in trouble with other, things and things like that.
Shenanigans.
And then I became, and I loved, no shenanigans. And I loved it because I became the publicity bunny. I was there I actually worked for Mr. Hefner for 2.5 years. And I became one of the publicity bunnies, and I literally traveled all over the world. I went to Rio de Janeiro to promote his record company. In those days, he was expanding. He was starting We Magazine, so I helped promote We Magazine, the Playboy Movie Theater in New York, Great Gorge Ski Resort in New Jersey. I was on the softball team. We went to Nassau and all the islands. I was third base. We would play men's teams, like firemen, police. We raised a lot of money for charities. It was I loved that job, and it taught me, I was as young as 18, 19. I've traveled all over the place. The girls were wonderful. Dawn Lois was head of publicity at the time, and she was dating Vic Lowndes, who was one of the partners and head of the London Club. And then I had put in, a request to become a blackjack dealer. I said, I'll go to London. It'd be fun living in London for 6 months or a year. I'll go there. And it was just about to come through, and that's when I met Murray, who later became my husband. I had auditioned to be in the Schaefer Music Festival in New York, and I got hired to be a dancer in that. And there was a spark between Murray and me, and I all of a sudden didn't want to leave the country. So I stayed, in New York and did the publicity there. And Bobbie Benton used to come into the club. Bobbie Benton was dating Hugh Hefner in those days. Bobbie would come in, and I was 18. She was 20 or 21, just a couple of years older, and all of us girls we looked, because when you're 18 and you're looking at a 21-year-old or 20, you're like, oh my God, she's so glamorous, she's so beautiful, she could sing, she'd sing in the show. What is she wearing? Oh my God, it was exciting. And then she's a friend of mine after all these years. As a matter of fact, she invited me to stay with her at her house in Aspen, which is beautiful. So we're going to do a little girls trip. But to have that kind of history for someone, and she didn't even remember those days that we had met. So I was like, oh God, yes, we thought you were all it, Bobbie, when you were dating Mr. Hefner, and we were always like, what was she wearing? What was she doing? What was she singing? And that was, I guess, right around Hee Haw, right before she did Hee Haw and all those shows she did. So that's my experience as a bunny. It was absolutely wonderful, and we made a lot of money, I can tell you, at the time. Oh, my goodness. It was a great job. It was a great job.
When are you going to write your book? When are you going to write your book?
Yeah.
People tell me that all the time. I have so many stories, but I don't. I don't think I'll ever do a book, just because you have to, so much of my stories are about real people, and people get really uncomfortable when you put them in a book and you talk about, I don't know, people get weird. So it's like I don't want my friends to feel that they would ever have to watch what they say around me because I might put it in a book. That changes the dynamics of any relationship. When I'm really good. If somebody confides or tells me a secret, it's like in the vault. I don't gossip.
Right.
I don't repeat private things. And I don't want anybody ever to think that, oh, well, in 10 years from now, anything they say to me could end up in a book. And Robin Leach, who's my dear friend, this sounds random, but was the same way. Robin was one of the love of my life and one of my best friends for many years even after when we weren't dating. And I always say Robin, you ever going to write that book? And he'd say, nope, not going to write that book. I just want people to think. Same reason. I'd say I get it because his stories. Oh my God, you can imagine what he could write about. I'd say, yeah, but you touch so much. And he'd say, yeah, but these people. He used to say to me, I feel like I'm on the outside looking in. I'm not one of them. I interview them, and I don't ever want people to not want to do an interview with me or a story with me because they think it's going to end up, unedited or unapproved in a book someday. And he was right. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, you're a great storyteller. These we're having a great interview.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, very nice meeting you. And I'm gonna hand you over to Candace.
Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi, Candace. Carolyn.
Hi.
Candace.
All of a sudden, I have the bunny hop song in my head. Like, I'm just over here just doing it and everything, and I don't know. It's just one of those things. Okay, so earlier we talked about the Bay, which led into a little discussion of Misguided, which we're watching. Can you tell us, how did you come aboard on this project? Because this is actually one of those, I'm going to say this, one of, a show that people should be watching. And I'll do whatever it takes to promote it for you.
Thank you. And thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I didn't know Paul Gosselin prior to working with him on Misguided. He tracked me down and he found me through my agent. My agent is Rick Hirsch with Celebrity Consultants. He used to be with William Morris, head of the commercial department of William Morris, and I was with William Morris for years for commercials. And because when on GH over the years, I would get hired and asked to do a lot of spokeswomen jobs, for all kinds of companies, all kinds of things, educational things and skincare and pharmaceuticals because of the nurse thing and a lot. And I've always liked that because I liked the travel, I liked the media tours, I liked doing the talk show, all that. So he found me through Rick Hirsch, who's opened up his own agency, left William Morris, and part of Rick's agreement with William Morris was he could take me with him because we've worked a lot together. And so Paul contacted Rick, and Rick, called me and said, hey, we have a guy, he's got it's called Misguided, a series, and, he's interested in you playing his mother. And I'm like, oh, wow, that would be cool. The only other time that I had ever played somebody's mother was I did a little movie called National Lampoon Class Reunion, written by John Hughes. The incredible John Hughes. And I played John Hughes' mother. Like when we were doing the parts, I played this very waspy, upscale, conservative, woman and I just kind of looked at him and say, I had a question. He was on the set one day. And he goes, I just want you to know you're playing my mother, loosely based on my mother. I was like, oh, God, I wish you had told me that. Now I'm like so, as I may have said earlier, a tremendous amount of responsibility when a writer tells you you're playing the mother, because there's like a lot of stuff with that. But I was actually, it was actually a compliment. So when Rick said, oh, you're going to be, playing Paul's mother, I was like, whoa, okay. So, Paul's mother is Mo, and in the show, in Misguided, we have a very complicated relationship. There's an edge to it. It's not an easy relationship. There are a lot of issues of things, from the past. Mo isn't an evil person and doesn't think she's a bad person. She loves her son, but she kind of just does everything so wrong in a way that just is really hurtful to him. And it's not intentional, but it's like, sometimes you just want to say, think before you speak, Mo. What are you doing? She's just one of those people who's a little clueless about, seeing the other person's perspective. And yet she has a big heart. So it's kind of a complicated character to play, and I love the character, and I love the way Paul has written her, because I think it's loosely based on his mother. So I'm not saying that like what goes on in Misguided is the story of his relationship with his mother, but I'm sure there is some complicated stuff in there. You know what I mean? Which is why he's able to write such depth and stuff that's like so emotional and so real to the audience. So, we started working. I've been on now for a few seasons, and it's absolutely wonderful. I love working with him. He's a joy to work with. Not only is he a really good writer and director and producer, but he's also a really fine actor. He's so, he just talks, and he's one of those people that you don't even know that he's in a scene because it's so natural. When he's talking, in the shooting, it's as natural as if you're just having a conversation with him, like by the coffee pot on set. That's what we have some really big drama, and we have some really funny stuff. And sometimes when people play that, they have a tendency to go really big to where it's like overacting. And sometimes intentionally you have to overact if it's comedy. Yeah. Exactly. But he's just really brilliant at it because he makes it very natural. You never feel like it's shtick, and he's got it down. So I'm really a fan, as well as a coworker with him.
Yeah. Paul's good peeps. I've known him for a while too, and he's a big supporter, lover of the genre. And I remember when the announcement came out that you were going to join the cast, I was like, oh, he's jumping up and down right about now. Like, I can picture him jumping up and down, being really excited. And, and I always say that the character of Mo, and I did say this to somebody, I said, she's very misguided on how her relationship is with her son, but I love her. But...
thank you. Well, I got to go to Burlington. I was shooting another show that I was doing, this decorating show last year, Make This Place Your Home, and we had to go to Burlington, Vermont to shoot, and we were shooting in the marble mines there, and that's where Paul's from. That's where he grew up, Burlington, Vermont. So I had never been there before. It was really great because I said to him, oh, my God, talk about, getting to research the character, because on the scripted show Misguided, he's from Burlington, and the mother lives still there. So I had never been there, and normally when you play a part like that, you would go to the location and, you just kind of check it out to see how it feels, to see the energy. And I never had an opportunity to do that. It just happened. So I was cast. We did Misguided. We did episodes, and I hadn't been to Burlington. And then so finally I got to go before the last season that was shot and see what it's really, gosh, it's beautiful. I mean, my gosh, it's beautiful. Yeah. There. But it's way out there. You can't even get a direct from LA to Burlington. You can't get a direct flight. You got to. I went through Chicago. You got to go through. My daughter's going there actually with her husband next month for a wedding. Same thing, connecting flights. So it's big and beautiful and wonderful, but it's not like flying into a flying into New York or Chicago. It's way different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So my second question is, besides the, dare I say, iconic storyline of BJ's death, which still makes viewers cry. I mean, come on now. Like, the BJ storyline is probably one of my top 10 storylines ever in soaps. So kudos to you guys. What has been a memorable storyline for you other than the BJ storyline, and why?
Well, the BJ one, thank you for saying that, because I had to tell you that was from the heart, you know. And I had BJ as my TV daughter before I had my real life daughters. So she, you know, I had her. She Brighton would color pictures for me, and I'd put them up on my refrigerator with a magnet before I ever had kids. So, you know, we were like very attached. I have a lot of emotional memories with her. So thank you for saying that about the story, because that was like all real stuff in there. So, oh gosh, it's hard to pick. You know, Bobbie Spencer, Brock Meyer, Joan Cassadine, almost Jack Spencer, and in there I also had, you know, Scotty Baldwin and Noah Drake and Rick Springfield and A. Martinez and Asher Groner as Roy. I mean, I had a lot that Bobbie didn't marry. So, like when you asked me that, like all these men went through my mind, like boom, 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 boom. All the boyfriends and husbands and the children and the. I was like, Gosh, I had like, I've been pretty blessed to have storylines that have been really, really good. I think rather not so much a storyline, but I think with regard to progression of character, I like the fact that Bobbie came from, you know, real humble beginnings and a very dysfunctional family, wrong side of the tracks. But she was very smart and had a lot of confidence, or learned to have self-confidence. It was kind of, you know, taken from her as a child. But what I like about her is she's a survivor, and she's kind. And yes, Bobbie came on as, you know, the naughty girl, the bad girl, with an agenda, you know, going after, trying to get Scotty from Laura, but never as an evil, never as a mean person. Her agenda was always to try and get a better life. And the quality that I find that I love about her, that I feel I have in me, and I try to give character, and Doug Marland, you know, put this in the beginning, is that earth mother maternal instinct of being a nurse, of being a person who truly cares, who wants to take care of people, who, you know, can hold somebody's hair back when they're throwing up and really feel that she's making a difference, and paying for nursing school and getting through and getting the education, and to this day staying in that profession all these years. I mean, to me, this is a strong, smart, intelligent woman who could have turned out, you know, not so good.
Completely different.
You know, because there were some serious problems. And yet I think she's built an amazing life. And she's a great mother, and she's a great partner, a great wife, a great professional. So, you know, when you look at that, and all the individual stories that I've been given over the years to play have added on. It's like, you know, add on. Like in life, you know, with every romance, every marriage, every child, every new job, every home, all the big stuff that happens to us in life, we grow and we change. But hopefully it's all for the better. You know, so I like that Bobbie, it's all been for the better. And I think that's why no matter what storyline the writers give me, I feel that there's a way to make it work, because in life, anything can happen. You know, you never know. Things go well, things go bad, things go sideways. People suffer great loss, you know, as we did with the BJ storyline. You got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, and you got to move on. You know, move it. It's all about moving forward. And what I love about the character is the audience has watched, our viewers, our people have watched Bobbie move forward, and it's wonderful to play a character like that, who's always moved forward and had to just figure it out. Nobody ever really gave her anything. She had to figure it out for herself. And I think that's been a good message for women, particularly, you know, 42 years ago when I got cast in the role. It was a very different world for women than it is now. We've had a lot of changes. I still in this country don't think we're 100% there yet, but we're a lot closer than we were 4 decades ago, you know. With regards to equality, acceptance, salary, getting paid, you know, equal to what the men are getting the same respect, getting the same say, you know. And Bobbie's been a good example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It is.
Yeah. Well, thank you for answering my questions and for coming on the show. And I'm going to hand it to Anthony, who has
thank you, Candace. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Jackie from Staten Island, New York. I want to start. I just want to say I came to General Hospital. I don't want to date myself, but I came to General Hospital about the same time that Bobbie did. So in my world, you're a married an aunt, or Bobbie's a married an aunt. She's real. She's part of my extended family. Having said that, we touched on diabetes earlier, which was one of my questions. So I'm going to throw out something that I'm going to throw out a really fan question. You've worked with some amazing people. I was wondering, since you're such a storyteller, and thank you for the stories, I was wondering if you could give us a little blurb about a few people, starting with Richard Simmons, Norma, Shell, and then maybe my personal favorite. I know everybody loves Bobbie with Tony, but my personal favorite was Bobbie and Jake. Sam. So if you can give us a little blurb about those people, we'd love it.
Okay. Well, let's see. You mentioned Richard Simmons first. Oh my God. I met Richard when he had his exercise studio, on, was it Melrose, Little Santa Monica. It was in Beverly Hills where I used to live, right down the hill. And I take his classes. So to me, I knew who he was because I was in all those classes, and he had incredible energy before he ever came on General Hospital. And he was crazy man Richard, such energy, all that energy that you see when he's on TV or he's doing his videos or whatever. He's like that all the time. He's like, wind him up and let him go. That's how he was. That wasn't like Richard just, pretending to be all that energy when he was on TV. He was just like that in his classes. He was like that as a person. So yeah, has very positive, very energetic, incredible business with, his studios, with his videos, with his workout stuff. I mean, I have a lot of admiration for him. He's awesome, and he was always fun to work with. And I loved that we had him on GH. It was always fun to, it was fun to take his classes off camera, and it was fun to take his classes on camera. So he was amazing. And then Shell, you asked me about Shell Kepler, played Amy. Oh, my God. Well, she was one of my closest friends in the world. I met her on General Hospital when I first came on. She was already there. We both lived in Malibu. So we were neighbors, and we were always over at her house. She was always over at my house. At the time, not only was she playing Amy Vining on GH, but she was she had a whole show on her QVC or her home shopping. She was doing the clothes and the design and all that stuff. And, of course, I had two daughters, Cassidy and Lacey, and Shell was like the ultimate creating fairy princess dress-up clothes. Sparkle shoes, roses on things, tiaras, and custom making stuff for Cassidy and Lacey when they were little. And we'd go over. She had a big, beautiful house. She was really good at decorating. We had a nice family home in Malibu, so we spent a lot of time doing sleepovers and parties and dinner parties and clothes. And she would make design dresses for them, and they would do fashion shows for her. And she was just terrific, and she passed way too soon, and I still miss her every day. And, I was close to her dad and, her brother and her family, and that was a great, great loss when we lost Shell. It was far too soon. But she was brilliant, and people still remember her as Amy. She was just incredible. Then you asked me about Jake. Yes, Sam Barron.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Sam, he's really fun to work with. I love him. He's also a close person. You're getting there's a theme here. The people in my TV family are like my real life family. You know what I mean? Same thing with Sammy. I called him Sammy. Is married to Sherry Belafonte. For those people who don't know, he was we were together on the show before he was dating her, and then he was dating her when we were actually working together. So, we got to know each other really well. Sam and I went. He was flying. He was a pilot's license. He was flying at one time. I was flying out of, planes, small private single-engine planes. We went parachute jumping together. We learned to do that. We go up to California Parachute Club and jump for fun all the time. We loved it. He had a motorcycle, a Harley, which I love motorcycles, and I'm, 105 pounds, 5'3" tall, so could never pick up a bike as big as a Harley. But my dad had motorcycles and flew, was a pilot, and Murray, my, husband at the time, flew planes, private planes, and Sam could fly, and it was like, so to be with Sam was exciting. We used to go to Las Vegas a lot, on our off times, and, he would fly, and we had so much fun together. So much fun. Sam looks a lot like my father of my children, Glenn Gordon, who was my husband. They look very, very much alike. Like if you were casting a movie, both of them could be interchangeable as the actor getting the role. And one time we were in a hotel where I was with my real life husband and my kids, and I don't know what city we were in. I used to do like a lot of PAs, and the Glenn was in the shower, and the room service, guy knocked on the food was coming up for the kids, and I answered the door, and I had like curlers in my hair, no makeup on, and like some like house coat or whatever, and he comes in and he sees Glenn comes out of the shower and he says, "Oh, room service, Leah, let me get that for you." And the guy thinks it's Sam. He's like, "Oh my God, can I have your autograph? Oh my God!" And Glenn says, "No, you don't want me. I'm not who you think I am. She's the one you want." The guy listens and he goes, "Nah." So I love Sam. He's great. He's a joy to work with. I haven't actually seen him in a while. They don't live in here in LA anymore, but I used to see him once a year. Every year we would get invited to a mutual party that he and Sherry would come to that I would go to at a friend's house. But I haven't seen him in a couple of years now. But he was a joy to work with. I love those storylines. Love those. And incidentally, that dress that when Jake and Bobbie got married on GH, the dress that Bob Miller, who was amazing, that he designed for me, Nancy Reagan, when she was in the White House, used to watch General Hospital. I knew that because I got invited to the White House. And her people called our Bob Miller, who was our designer, and asked if she could borrow my dress, my wedding dress on TV dress to Sam, to Jake on the show, to wear to the Easter Seals ball in Washington, D.C. And Bob Miller said to her assistant, she didn't personally call it, one of her assistants called, but said, "Well, it won't fit her. I think she's, I don't think they're going to be the same, but I'm happy to design her the same dress in her size. If you just want to send me some measurements." I don't know whatever happened with that, but he did say to me, he said, "Jackie, Nancy Reagan liked your dress. She wanted to show she wanted to borrow it for the thing." And I thought, oh, God, good to go. Beautiful dress. So there's a little tidbit.
There you go.
Yeah. Was there somebody else you wanted me to ask? Trying to think.
Norma Ruby.
Norma. Oh, my God, Norma. Well, when Norma came, first time I met Norma, I didn't know her before she was cast. They read about 5 women, tested 5, like they read a lot of people before I ever read with them, but I ended up reading or testing with 5 different women, and Norma was one of them. She was incredible. She came on the set. We did the scene. We had run it. I always run scenes like if I'm going to test with somebody at the green room, because I think people are really nervous when they come in for tests, and if you run it with them a couple of times, at least they've had a chance to say the words. Look at your face and say the words. It makes it easier and makes the test better. So I met her for 10 minutes in the green room when we ran the lines, and then we get upstairs. She was amazing. Well, obviously a seasoned actress because she was a mature woman when she got the part. She brought such warmth to that character. I remember, and I don't remember all of the women that tested, but I remember 2 or 3 of the other women that tested, and the part could have gone a lot of ways because she was playing a madam, she was playing Aunt Ruby, she was playing the woman who had Bobbie at 14 and 15 working as a hooker in her whorehouse. That's a complicated role, you know. And Norma brought such warmth to the role. Like, she was down to earth, had an opinion, strong-willed, but not cold and not smarmy and not mean. She was classy, and she was like, she shined like a light, unbelievable. And I knew after we tested that she was going to get the part. And I remember going to the producer to say, we all agree on who this is, right? Yes. It's Norma, of course. She's getting the offer. And she came on, and Norma and I became friends. And her husband, you know, Howard Rodman, was a famous writer, and, you know, was writing like a lot of shows on TV. They had Harry O was one of his shows, and their German Shepherd dog. I love German Shepherds. I have German Shepherds. They lived in a big house in Hancock Park, and I would always go over there with Harry O, the dog, and hang out with her. And, you know, her son Adam is also a writer, was there all the time. And she would invite me over. She became like my real life Aunt Ruby, because I lived in California and my whole family was back in New Jersey. So we didn't get, like, we would get only Thanksgiving Day off. We never got Friday off. So I never got home for Thanksgiving. And I was single in those days, you know, she would invite me over. I would be invited to her Thanksgiving dinners. I'd be invited to all the holidays, go to her house. And she liked Ma Maison. Ma Maison used to be Wolfgang Puck's restaurant. You know, it was like a big, nice place to go. And it was kind of famous at the time. And if we'd go to lunch, we'd go to Ma Maison. I always remember that. So I love Norma. And when she passed, that was like, you know, she was like real family for me. And always will be in my heart.
Well, Jackie, I could ask you a million questions, but you have answered and been so generous with your stories. I just want to close out by thanking you. And like she's your Aunt Ruby, you've become our Aunt Bobbie or our Aunt Jackie. And thank you so much for sharing your stories with us and coming on this evening. And hopefully you are on another blessed 20 years of General Hospital, the longest running.
Aw, thank you so much. Thank you from my heart. I really appreciate that. And I've been doing
so much for what you've done for daytime.
Do you want to tell our listeners where they can find you on social media and any personal message you want to say to the listeners? So fans who love you for 40 plus years.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I'll see on Twitter. I'm at Jackie Zeman, Jackie Zeman, Zeman. On Instagram, I'm Jacqueline Zeman, Jacklyn Zeman. And I love when people get on and give me their opinions or give me their comments, because it's like, I like that personal interaction. And I guess what I just want to say to anybody who's been listening or has been, you know, listening to this show, been watching me on any of my shows over the years, thank you, because, you know, I know in this business I wouldn't have a job if it weren't for the audience appreciation. It's, you know, nowadays especially, there's a lot of people that, you know, want to get in acting, want to be on a show, and we are all replaceable. You know what I mean? So the fact that I've been able to stay on General Hospital and get invited back every year and get cast on, you know, The Bay, get cast on Misguided, and get to do other things is because there are people that are out there that are saying nice things, that are enjoying the shows, and that have had, you know, are being very positive about, you know, about my existence. And from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate that, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tonight. And thank you so much from Lana to Bobbie to The Bay to Misguided. Thank you for everything that you do.
Have a happy weekend.
You
too. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Well, that one goes down as one for the books.
Yep.
The incomparable, iconic, and what a storyteller. Carolyn, you hit the nail on the head with that question. I wish she would write a book, even if she did it Jackie Collins style and changed all the names and fudged some of the situations. What a book that would be.
Yep.
for sure.
Still over
that
here.
was very high energy. She's a dynamo for sure. Wow.
Okay. Well, it has been a very interesting week in the soap world. There's some sad news. Some sad news that we all saw coming. I mean, we didn't need to tune in soap opera style to kind of guess that the role of Drew Kane, the time with the incomparable himself, Mr. Billy Miller, is coming to an end on GH. Just when it looks like they're actually giving him a juicy storyline to play. Isn't that always the way?
Did you guys not know? It was coming, or?
Oh, we can.
I don't like to believe anything before I actually see it.
Okay. See, David, you're so sweet. You're so nice. I'm gonna say
But I wasn't listening to Daytime Confidential either, so.
Well, here's the thing. You didn't even have to. I'm gonna be honest, like for real. I think we all knew that there was a time, like a countdown, when they swapped his character. When they said he was no longer going to play Jason and he was going to play Drew, that's when, let's be real.
The clock
that's
started.
When we all kind of and not only that, but in the last couple of years, they've removed him from the people that he was working with. Maurice, Laura, Becky, and all of them. And they pretty much put him on his own island. They never really followed through with the story that was promised to the fans. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They've kind of tiptoed around the character's purpose, and it's kind of like, what was he supposed to do?
I wanna stroll down memory lane for a second, and when he came on,
because Drew can't.
Right? When he came on and this, it was a 50-50 divide. Three-time daytime Emmy winner. I mean, powerhouse over on The Young and the Restless. To get him was a score, a coup. To come on as a character who didn't know who he was, but was rumored to be Jason and ultimately became Jason, the fans were 50-50. They didn't want that, or a high number of fans didn't want that. 2 years later, everybody was loving him as Jason. Everybody, he had owned the role. He had taken it to his own
level.
His own level, his own beat, and then they threw, the storyline twist in. And I don't regret that they brought back Steve Burton. But the drama, I'm not a huge fan of triangles, but the drama that could have been played out with that triangle would have been epic. Missed both. Bringing on a son to salvage that was great, and we got some really emotional Oscar stuff. But all the relationships, like Candace just said, all the relationships that had been formed were basically thrown down the garbage disposal, turned on, and ran a little bit of water, and it was done. And with a powerhouse actor like Billy Miller, there were so many opportunities that were missed. And I'd like to personally say right now,
and he's able to
Mr.
do
Miller,
it
and he was able to do it. Wherever you end up, Mr. Miller, we are all going to be following you. And unfortunately, you'll be sadly missed. Yes.
Apple TV this fall, baby. Apple TV.
Well,
I'm there.
All you guys, all the past years, and I heard Billy Miller, and when this came out, I said, "Wow, what's that about?" So that's sad.
I mean, here's the okay. I'm going to speak on my behalf about this. Is that seeing how far Billy Miller has come? I mean, I remember him as Richie on All My Children. I followed him over to Young and the Restless. To even before that when he was on Ringer on the CW, when he was doing prime time, going back and forth from daytime to prime time, and when his decision to leave Young and the Restless happened, it was a shock because in my eyesight, he owned that character. He really owned that character. I mean, 3-time Emmy Award winner, and the fact that he acted against Eric Braeden, Peter Bergman, Joshua Morrow. And for him to come over to General Hospital, it was like, okay, well, who is he going to play? Because at first I thought he was going to play Lucky. To be honest with you, I did. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to be with Tony Geary. Like, oh, yeah, come on. When they put out that promo, Anthony, do you remember that promo? A different side of me. Billy Miller will come on as Jason. It's a new side of Jason, General Hospital. I'm like, oh, dear God. They just messed with the fans. Because, look, soap Twitter is soap Twitter. And you know that people have their picks, And the thing is that, and here at Take Two, I believe that we can keep it real, we can keep it honest here. The thing is that people didn't want the role of Jason to be recast at all, because that was such an iconic character. I just want to say this a couple of times because I've seen a lot of people. Steve Burton and Billy Miller worked together on Young and the Restless, and they worked fine. Okay,
they were
obviously. When you recast a role like a Jason, of course, there's going to be mixed emotions, especially if they're not going to play the character the way you remember it. I credit Billy Miller and the writers for changing Jason and actually making him the character that I wanted him to be. He evolved into a person who put the mob stuff second and put his family first. That's why the triangle with Sam, Drew, and Jason, and it would have worked because you would have had Sam conflicted. She was conflicted with the man that she fell in love with versus the man who actually kept his promise and made her feel safe. In a situation of he put her first and the children, like they actually had a sort of, dare I say, normal life. What life does Sam want? You have, like, there were so many opportunities and they didn't do it. The only thing I will credit the show for keeping was Drew's relationship with Monica.
Yes. Mm-hmm. David, any thoughts?
I would have liked to have seen that triangle play out, and I would have liked to have seen more. I think the Shiloh stuff could have been added a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier on, except not just right now where he's about to go off. He should have been
in that. They're resurrecting,
should have been in that mix from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
when Sam was going through everything with Shiloh, whether they were in love or not anymore, the character of Drew would still have had enough love to be like, whoa, what is he doing to my baby mama? The fact that he was just completely ghost in that story really did not sit well with me personally, but with a huge portion of the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as we saw in the last 2 days, they're resurrecting the twin storyline as well, to kind of put a full circle moment, I guess, on all this, which, dare I say, and this is my show, everybody that listens to our show knows, 3 years old, I started watching with my grandma, dare I say, a little too little, a lot too late.
Let me ask this question.
Was it his choice to leave?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yes.
So any word on where he's going?
He only signed a 1-year contract from what I heard.
He has a show coming out later on this year on Apple TV. Which, okay, if we're going to be really honest, even fans knew. It was, if you watch his scenes on the show, there's a huge difference between the first 2 years he was on versus the last 2 years that he's been on.
Yep.
And the nickname that everybody gave Billy Miller was Killer Miller because he would kill those scenes.
I remember
like,
that.
he had this intensity that would just rock your world. Like, you'll be like, damn, okay? You have not seen that in a very long time. And it's sad because it's like what everybody is saying. There were so many opportunities. The twin storyline could have been told. How come we haven't gotten his memories back? Explore that. You know, it's like now all of a sudden, like Anthony, like all of us is saying, you wait till now to tell the story with Shiloh and Drew. Like, are you serious? Like, this was supposed to be like Frank Valentine, and I remember the tweet because I kept it. His direct quote was, "This was going to be the umbrella story for General Hospital."
I remember that.
That it was
and
going
that turned
to
out to be an umbrella.
Everybody.
That is all kinds of torn and shredded umbrella.
It was more so about Drew and Franco's relationship versus Jason and Drew's relationship. And that's where it was a lot of it was all over the place. And, you know, and it's sad because the fans who may not have known what he was capable of will not know. But for us who've seen him, we know what he's capable of.
You know what? We got sneak peeks of it on General Hospital. Let's give homage to, first off, you just said it, the scenes between him and Franco in the basement, and then the aftermath of that, we got pure Killer Miller. When the secret finally came out between Liz and you know, Jason at the time, we saw Killer Miller. I think we saw glimpses of it between him and Kim in the aftermath of Oscar.
For the Oscar stuff. Yeah.
We did see Killer Miller. And so, you know, to put a wonderful footnote on all of this, you know, we're going to miss you, and we will be following you to Apple TV. In other wonderful news, instead of some sad news, let's go some wonderful news.
Yes, let's go to some happy news.
Queen Girl, what is your Days of Our Lives doing, and where are they flying us? What exotic location would they like us to, you know, spend some quality sands through the hourglass time? Carolyn, tell our listeners.
In Paris.
Ooh la la.
Yeah,
ooh la la is right. And the basis of this is Carolyn.
You take it away, Anthony.
Okay, well, for those of you who are Days of Our Lives fans, and those of you who might not be, who are interested in something that a soap is doing for the first time online, they are launching a digital companion series. Two of the show's most prominent characters left a while back. They needed to get away from the drama and, you know, the continually popping up from the dead people up in Salem. So they decided to take their little family and their multiple personalities across the pond over to Gay Chez Paris. And at that point in time, I don't know if it was a red herring or not, but they led us all to believe that, you know, we wouldn't be seeing Chad and Abigail and the babies for quite some time, if possibly ever. But the show did a really good job of keeping them and us in the loop via phone calls and email drops and so on and so forth. And it has been announced, it was announced a while ago that they were coming back to Days of Our Lives, the canvas itself, but it was just announced that we're going to get to see what Chad and Abby and the family, maybe they'll run into Taylor from Bold and the Beautiful, but maybe not.
You never know.
You never know. We're going to get to see what they were doing in Paris.
Digital.
And a digital companion series on NBC.com.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. Well, actually, let me backtrack that. So
it's on the Days app?
Now it's on the Days app. It's the first 3 episodes. The rest of the episodes will be released in the next couple of weeks. After it's been released on the apps, within like 6 to 8 couple of days or something, it will be released on NBC.com. As well as, I forgot the other website, so people can watch. So right now it's on the app for the first 3 episodes. It was released earlier this morning because it was supposed to be released at midnight, and it wasn't. It was released at 7 o'clock this morning because, you know, somebody on this show was waiting to see it. And when I saw it, and kudos.
They want to see how well it's going to be received, and they're not going to, you know, put their neck out there too far. So, but I think it's a great move. It's a great move.
CBS, ABC,
it is.
I have been saying this for years, that they needed digital, even if it's outtakes or extending scenes from the day's episodes, that they needed to do more digital content to rope in, and the stuff that they can't show online, some steamy love in the afternoon making scenes.
Keep up with the time. Keep up with the time.
Yeah. So kudos to Ken Corday
Caroline,
and NBC.
have you seen it? Caroline, have you seen it yet?
No.
Oh, you need. Oh, I binge watched it. I saw it. It's not too long either. It's only like 8 to 10 minutes, but it leaves you wanting more. And if it's going where I think it's going at, if it's going where I think the storyline is, because they ain't telling nobody nothing, I want everybody to watch it. I will be extremely invested even more if they bring it to when they come back to fully on days.
Okay. So
if
how
do the fans get it?
How,
do they just
so
go
far,
to the,
so basically you go to the Days app. So if you got Apple or Google Play, go and download the Days app. As soon as you as soon as you get the Days app, downloaded onto your streaming or wherever you're gonna watch it, your phone, your tablet, or anything. The first screen, it says original shows. It's going to be on the main page because this is big, and whatnot. So you get to see the promos, you get to see the behind the scenes, you get to see some crazy videos that Billy and Kate posted, and then you get the first 3 episodes of the show. And I must also say that special guest star is Austin Pack. Yes!
Oh, okay.
Yes!
It's enough.
Well, a quote from Ron himself that I can drop here on the show is that what you will see in this is going to have a direct impact on the canvas when they do make it back to Salem. And that is a direct quote. So it's not wasted energy like, oh, what were they doing in Paris? I don't really care. No, baby. You gonna care. Go watch.
Please, let this be. Because what they're setting up right now, I'm not saying nothing, but if it now that you said that, I am hoping for the simple fact is that it would blow fans' minds. It will blow their minds.
Well, that's what the fans need. Yeah, that's what the fans need. We need some excitement, and I think this is going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, this is you said about CBS and ABC, and I saw somebody tweet about saying this was kind of the first, and I was like, well, I mean, directly show-wise, yes, but CBS did a couple of years ago. I'm going to say this, that when, even Passions and them, they was trying to do it, but it wasn't the right time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now we're in such a digital world now that this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
This is actually an experiment, too, if you think about it, because if this goes, and I know a lot of fans have something to say because of who they picked, and I'm like, get over yourself. Because, look, a couple years ago, it was supposed to be Sammy and EJ with their spinoff. So I'm just saying. Anyway, but for them to show this couple who, again, went away and everything and now coming back, this goes hand in hand. I think this is a huge investment from Sony, who gave some money, the Corday Productions, Greg Mean, and all of them. This is an experiment because, if this works, then somebody else is going to get it. Get some digital a show. I said the next person should get it is Ben going to therapy. Can you imagine the therapy sessions with Ben and Marlena?
Yeah.
Like we can see on the show, Sierra, who's going to be working. Yes, I said it. I want my homegirl to be working now. Saying, where are you going in? And Ben said, I'm going to go to therapy. And so we see like 6 to 8 episodes of him confining in Marlena his fears. We don't have to get the whole scenes on the show. Like Anthony said, this is an experiment because, also one day we might be in this position again like we were a couple of years ago with Prospect Park. Not saying it's going to happen like Prospect Park, but, having the network subs go over to digital. So this is, I'm invested. I'm excited. Good job, Dave.
I am too.
Go, Dave.
Good job, Dave.
Go, Tim.
Yeah.
And I'm
real quick, let's give the ABC Devils their due. They have definitely experimented over the years, aka Night Shift, which was a huge undertaking at the time, and it did relatively well, and we were really invested. They knew how to weave those storylines into the main canvas without beating us over the head. They were two separate shows that worked really well with each other. So ABC, if you love General the way we do, pay attention to NBC because they are on the mark right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do it. I get the fear because a lot of people, like with the days, with this, a lot of people say, well, how can I watch it? The only thing that I will say is that I do wish that they would have posted it on NBC.com or the YouTube channel because a lot of people cannot get the app.
Oh,
so
really?
It's kind of like, there's people like in Australia and Canada. Like it's limited, just like there's certain places that.
Well, they are releasing it to the NBC, the NBC.com website in a couple of days.
Right.
And then the second round will be released a couple of days.
But some people want to be first. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's kind of like, it's like, all right, everybody's talking about it. I have to wait. Like, I mean, I look at it as this. Either way, you're watching it. And either way, you're going to – I mean, look, there's going to be somebody that probably leaks it out on social media beforehand. So, you'll be able to watch it. But it's good. Yeah. The set is beautiful. Billy Flynn, oh, my God, he's gotten hotter. He's gotten professional. I mean, he's got well, screw it, he's hot. What else can I say? Austin Peck's hot.
Yes.
Carolyn is hot right now.
You should be
Carolyn, are you hot right now?
Oh, no.
And,
well, I am.
And that's the best part. No commercials. That's the best part, obviously. I mean, it's just so refreshing to see Billy Flynn and Austin Peck. Oh, my God.
So it shows his blue eyes, does it? Candace, it shows his blue eyes.
Oh, my God. It's like, I'm going to tell you something. I was joking around, but I'm actually dead serious about this. The lighting, the set, everything just brings it all together. It's like you're really watching it's actually a well-crafted digital series, to be honest with you. And you know how on days, the lighting doesn't always compliment some people. The lighting compliments them. The lighting complements everything. It's like, seriously, and I was like seriously joking, but then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Sony gave money to this. Okay, here's what you do. This, and you're promoting it so great, and it's beautiful, and it's, oh my God, I'm excited. Can you tell? I'm excited about this, and I can't. This experiment, oh my God, please let it work. Please let it work.
It's a breath of fresh air. And the darkness, I thought it was my cataract.
I'm going to tell you something else. Wait a minute, full alert.
I think all the shows should follow suit if they can.
Yeah, they probably will.
Absolutely.
Sony owns them, right? Yeah. So
Sony owns Days, and Sony owns Young and the Restless. That's why I'm making a point, because they always say that one of the soaps is the favorite and the other one doesn't get anything. Well, I am here to tell you folks, Sony Days,
we got it.
Days Alive, some money for the beautiful set, because I even tweeted Greg Mean, Ryan Quad, and Ron Calvati and X for a picture of it so I can turn my studio into it. Because that was like,
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, no.
Like sands through the hourglass, let's stay with Days of Our Lives and discuss what Twitter and the rest of the soap world is blowing up about, and that is the battle of the Mrs. Damaras. Where is Sammy? Where is Sammy? Where is Sammy? And are we turning into VC Andrews Gothic with, shall I say, a possible incest, campy almost storyline? And social media seems to be blowing up over this.
Well, Tony was adopted, and Kristen, they were both adopted. So there's no blood tie there.
Nope. Well, again, like I said, almost incest. But
almost.
Tony said it yesterday perfectly when he said, yuck. Yuck. I think that was perfect to highlight, like, that we're all thinking to ourselves, yuck. But the Battle of the Mrs. Damaras? Oh, child.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Gabby and
our Salem Queen.
And Nicole.
Carolyn?
Oh, man.
Yeah, she's
Carolyn,
coming
you
back
there?
with a bang. Yeah, she's coming back with a bang. My battery's dying. I have to go in the other room. Bear with me.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for Carolyn's take. I will definitely say I, like a lot of other fans, are like, pay Allison Sweeney whatever you have got to pay her, and have her sweep on in and say, Damara who? Damara what? I'm Mrs. Damara, baby.
Yes. No, it's just all exciting. It's all exciting. You guys, we only have like how many minutes left, David? So we have to kind of keep moving, don't we?
Oh,
yeah,
all right. Well, then
it's 8:35.
Yeah, so we've got to talk about the other big elephant in the soap world, and that's happening out in L.A. A storyline that has infuriated fans, that has excited fans, that have had fans shaking their heads saying, what the who, the what, has now exploded. It is now hit mass ground zero. Baby Beth, Baby Phoebe, Hope, Steffi, Liam, and everybody on the cannabis has been saying, should we tell Hope? Maybe we shouldn't tell Hope. Maybe we should tell Hope. It has exploded. Candace, baby, go. I know you got stuff to say. Go, girl.
Oh, wait, can I say something first?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. I just said, that little boy is such a scene stealer.
Oh, my God, yes.
I don't know. Where do they find these little boys? He is the cutest little boy. I say this about every little kid that comes on the soaps, but what do they say in the Bible? And a child shall lead us.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah. Woo! Okay.
All right, Candace, roll with it, baby.
Let me just say this. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people, like you said, had something to say about this storyline. But even including us, I was about to tap out. But I was like, something that's holding me. It's a Lifetime movie. It's a Lifetime movie. When I say that Brad Bell, say what you want about this man, but here's the thing. He kept it the way that it's supposed to be. The payoff is so worth this. It is like it took us close to a year to get here. But now we're starting to see the payoff. We're seeing Liam. Hats off, kudos to Scott Clifton, by the way,
right.
Because he had felt if you've been watching the story, he's been feeling like an inkling to that child, and he didn't understand why he felt a connection to that child. Okay, but he has been in that child's life, and now that Douglas, because who really thought that Douglas was going to be the one to say something, You did out the mouths of babes. That's all I got to say, out the mouths of babes. So, you have this, and now the next, oh, my God, is going to be Steffi and Hope's reaction. And today, if you watched, spoiler alert if you didn't, Flo snitched.
I didn't yet.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, sorry.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, because I will right after this show.
Okay. The truth has now come out. It
Yep.
came out flowing. The flow has been running, and this is where it's about to get good because now you have Flo admitting, to it. Wyatt is gonna this. It's a domino effect, and this is why, as a soap viewer, I'd rather for it to happen now than a couple of weeks. After the babies were switched, and then a couple of weeks later, everybody kumbaya and found it out. It's the wait. You have to go through the bad, the ugly to get to that. This is how you tell a traditional baby swap storyline. If you look at all the other soaps that have done it, they're taking years. They're taking months. This was so good because now you have everybody emotionally invested in this child and these kids, okay? Because wait, there's a twist. There is a twist with another child. If we're going to go by the rule book. So yeah, I feel for Stucky and Hope because they were victims. When I tell you, I already tweeted it out. Anika Noel, Jacqueline M. Wood, Scott Clifton, what is the one that plays Thomas? Matthew Atkins, I think that's his name. The boy who plays Douglas, the girl who plays Flo. For your Emmy consideration,
thank you.
I'm just saying, for your Emmy consideration, Bold and Beautiful, best writing, best show. And I will say that because, like I said, I know this is the show. I know we were limited on time real quick. This is the show that will make fans irritated, but then bam, it's like, what just happened? A soap opera just happened, folks. A soap opera.
Well, to keep the time moving, I would like to extend this. Frank and the powers that be, Chris and everybody over at ABC, and I think that's where we're going next. This is what is the definition of an umbrella storyline really is. Yes, we had a little lull for about a month or so where just about everybody was saying, should we tell her, should we not tell her? Oh, my God, I can't believe this is happening. But the payoff, like Candace said, this is the definition. It is now going to be in Webster's dictionary. This storyline is the definition of an umbrella storyline. Having said all that,
which one?
Let's move over to Port Charles and talk about the highlights of what's going on over there.
Okay.
They're getting a new co-head writer. Yeah, we knew about this in May and June about Shelley Altman leaving General Hospital back before summer started. I'm just saying, it wasn't exclusive. I mean, it wasn't exclusive. I mean, we all knew. We knew on June 12th, 2019, actually at 7:57 p.m. that Shelley Altman was leaving. Quote unquote. Wait a minute, let me get it right. Retiring from General Hospital to pursue happiness and you guys go ahead because I got so much to say about this, and I know I talk a lot, but I'm really heated about this. So you guys go ahead because I'm heated.
Mama always told me if I don't have anything nice to say. So what I'm going to say is, God bless Shelley and all your future endeavors, and I hope you find peace in the Dalai Lama. And thank you for all your wonderful service to General Hospital and the other soaps that you've trashed. I mean, that you've worked on in the past. And thank you for your service, and have fun with the Dalai Lama. David?
It's almost bittersweet. And
you're so nice.
Yeah, it is.
See, why do I have to be the one to be the one that's going to go off? Okay, go ahead, David.
Because you always.
I can't. I just what? Yeah, I don't want to sound one because I'm not a writer per se. So I'm not one, and I can't really comment on what I don't really know. I just know what I like and what I've seen.
You know what?
And
I'm not going to go off. I'm going to actually congratulate General Hospital for a couple of beats. The first beat being, you have Anna off screen, but you have her still involved in a storyline, and you're setting up the fall major, let's call it an umbrella, let's be optimistic and call it an umbrella storyline. You're setting that up really well. You brought back Rebecca Buddick with amongst a almost bold and beautiful, shocking kind of moment, and you played those beats out really well. You now are returning to two separate storylines that the fans were unhappy with the dangling non-resolution of those stories, and we honestly thought we're never going to hear from them again. So kudos to you for listening, paying attention, and giving us full circle closure on, or hopefully it will be full circle closure on those storylines. Thank you for finally giving us Liz and Franco's wedding. What else? There's a bunch of things that they are doing right. And so I have to believe that there are people that are listening to this show and certain other shows out there that have been saying for a while that they were floundering and we had no idea what directions they were going with a bunch of characters. I also have to congratulate Cynthia Waters, who stepped into a role quickly and has taken, like Billy Miller, has taken that role and just took it and said, this is my Nina. This is my Nina. And she's irresistible to watch. There's not a lot of drama yet, but you can see it. You can feel it. It's brewing. And so I'm going to congratulate rather than point out some mistakes from a head writer, co-head writer who is going to play with the Dalai Lama. Go ahead, Candace.
Oh, great. Thanks. Okay, real quick, I'm going to actually say that Shelly Altman, I am going to miss you because I know what you were capable of, and I really wish that you would have got more of a fair chance. Congratulations to the new co-head writer, even though I really wish that it was Kate Hall. Just saying. Kudos to Rebecca Herbst, who is celebrating 22 years today on General Hospital as Elizabeth Weber.
Oh, yes.
And she made it to the fan event.
Yes, she did, which was a pleasant surprise for a lot of fans. Kudos for bringing in a team set because Lord knows, if anything, I've been the one who's been complaining the most that General Hospital needs a team set, and I like who we have in the team set right now, and I can't wait to see their adventures, relationships, and romance. Mark Lawson, thank you, General Hospital. I was waiting for this. More eye candy. Thank you. And, yes, I would say that even though Mark Lawson could have been a great Lucky, he could have been a Dante, I will take him as a new character as long as my girl, Emmy Ryland, a.k.a. Lulu, gets some screen time. Amen.
And he's a teacher.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's a teacher, girl.
I know. Let me see what else. What else is I'm grateful for? I'm grateful for Dr. Obrecht because Catherine Gotti, who's celebrating her anniversary too. I just love Dr. O, and I love the fact that she's in Windermere, and I just think that is crazy. Now, I also like to thank whoever did not listen to us saying that we did not want no Cassandra. I'm sorry. I love Jessica Tuck. But unless you're telling me that this is going to connect to Nicholas Cassadine coming back, why is she there?
No.
I always thought he was,
I feel you there. Okay.
And again, I'm just saying this just because, Trina could actually be somebody else's other than Curtis because if that's what they're setting up, yeah, okay. I'm just saying.
I also
want to congratulate
General Hospital for tackling diabetes, tackling a problematic pregnancy, and for telling a storyline where two working people who do not have rich relatives are now worried about having to pay hospital bills.
I feel as though General Hospital has done that before because remember when Elizabeth and Lucky was struggling and surviving, and that's when Elizabeth decided to be a surrogate for Jax, and because they needed money for bills. I would like to see, to be honest, I give General Hospital kudos for actually tackling bill issues, but I want them to really go there, like have somebody get that eviction notice, or have, you know what I'm saying, like. With medical bills, it's like, okay, Drew decided that he was going to pay. Like, some people don't have that. So let's really go, like, student loans. TJ. Wait, TJ's out of school. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about that. TJ said he was going to be out of school.
Have Epiphany's building being bought by some condo association, and suddenly she's got the pink eviction slip. That'd be storyline to tell. Oh, and General Hospital, one thing I'm not happy about, don't be telling us that Milo is in some competition where he's going to go shirtless and be showing off and tell us about it and not have some kind of scene where Epiphany and the nurses, including Franco, because he would enjoy that even though he wouldn't be looking, or not in the audience rooting along Magic Milo. You will drop something like that and then not show us even a flash. Come on.
I just
what
need
happened
Chase
to
to be
love
shirtless.
in the afternoon?
I need Chase to be shirtless before summer's over with. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well, since we're on a time constraint, let's hop over real quick to Genoa City. David, take it away. Fill us in on what's been going on in the last 2 weeks.
Well, let me see. We have a custody case going on where both fathers have been denied, and Victoria, the sister, is temporary custodian. We have what is the beginning of a quadrangle in my eyes with Devon and Elena and Abby and Nate. In my eyes, because it looks like Abby and Nate are sparking a little too quickly. So I think there's more to come there.
Oh, and what needs to come is that they do a switcheroo. Partner A with partner B and partner C and partner D. Switch up. Go ahead.
And, well, that's all I got on it. That seems to be going on right now. I mean, we are losing a couple, Anthony, aren't we? At least two,
yes,
either recurring or off.
We are, and from what CBS Insider's saying, the Victor storyline is going to ramp up mid-August and play all the way out through November sweeps. I have a feeling that Adam is going to play a significant part in that storyline. Candace, go. What are you loving, hating? What's going on in Genoa City?
What I'm loving is Phyllis.
Amen.
Yeah, that's about it. Now ask me the other question. What I dislike right now. What am I disliking right now? Please ask me that question so I can go ahead and just. And you know this, and it's funny because I got a lot of people saying this. They was like, Candace, you really, you're Young and the Russells, like, quote unquote top fan. Like, for you just to feel this way, and I said, I'm a fan. I've been watching since I literally came out of my mama's stomach. So it's some things that's on the show that I'm just, like, not 110% on. Now, granted, I like Mark Grossman, who plays Adam. I think he's done a fantastic job. But
yeah.
It's now become the as the Adam turns. Because it's every single day, and I understand that's your quote-unquote umbrella story of Adam's return, but it's too much, and I don't feel like going back in time. I'm sorry. I've moved on from 2009, 2013. I've grown. Chelsea's no saint, okay? I just want to let everybody know that. She's no saint. Nick and Chelsea was not each other's loves of their lives. No. I need a reason for Adam to acting this way about his son when Nick has been the only father figure that boy has ever known. And, yeah, it is karma for what Nick did to Sharon and Dylan all those years ago. But at the same time, it's like what they've done to Sharon is just so sad.
Sad.
It's like, did you really take a straw to her brain and suck all the intelligence out of her? I'm just asking for a friend. Let's see. Michael. I mean, but no, it's like literally I'm watching Young and the Russells and I'm thinking like, okay, kudos for the fact that I'm getting to see more of Michael Baldwin. I just don't like the fact that we're going backward. Like, I get it for a certain time frame, he didn't really have that edge, but now he's getting to that darkness that is going to make me question: are they going to break up Lauren and Michael?
Well, I mean, it looks like the writing's on the wall. They're pushing Michael towards Phyllis, and they're pushing Lauren towards Jack.
No, I think what it is, in my opinion, like I thought about this. At first I was like, Michelle and Mark have the same kind of chemistry that Gina and Jason had, okay?
Yeah.
So I was thinking Phyllis and Adam, okay? But then I thought about it. I was like, no, they're not going to do that because I think they're going to do the Sharon, Adam, Nick, and Chelsea quad. Obviously because, Sharon and Ray are now, So now you got, where is Ray going to go at? I mean, he could go underneath Phyllis. Thank you. I'll be here all week. But then I was thinking about Michael. I'm like, okay, he's turning into darkness again. He's going into that. And him and Lauren have been the most stable couple on the show. I mean, between the kissing and cancer, they've actually been, fairly decent. So I'm wondering now, if they're going to do this, are they going to replay the Jack and Lauren thing that we saw earlier this year, and that means they're going to break up Michael and Lauren? I'm trying to not go there because I'm hoping that Josh has some common sense to not bust them up. But then again, I thought about it. The storyline with Victor. I enjoy seeing Melanie Thomas Scott and Eric Braeden every single day. I do. But then I thought about it. I was like, this is the epilepsy storyline all over again. And who was writing at that time? Josh Griffin.
Yeah.
So there's some things that I can tolerate, but then there's some things that I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna stand in the corner and wait till after, right now, because I said for my Josh Griffin report card, because I'm a teacher, November 21st. By then I will have my official how did Josh Griffin do for the year 2019 for the Young and the Restless. But right now it's a S. I mean. I'm a U. It's still a U because there's a lot, and there's things that he could have done with certain characters who are no longer on there because, quote unquote, he creatively couldn't write for them, and they didn't have the budget. I miss you, Lauren Locke. I love you, Anna. I was waiting for that triangle, but that's all I got. I miss you, guys. Right.
It is definitely a sizzling summer. All four of our shows have opened up storylines that look to be exciting. Let's hope that they, deliver on the promises that we're seeing these last 2 weeks. Thank you so very much to the incomparable, the daytime royalty, Miss Jacqueline Zeman, for her honest, fun, beautiful interview and her stories. And
I got something for you guys. I do have something for you guys. This is from Jackie herself. She posted it on Twitter. Thank you at Take Two Radio for inviting me to join you today. David, Carolyn, Candace, and Anthony, you were a joy to share stories with. Thank you. That's on her Twitter.
Oh.
And I just retweeted it.
Well, next week.
She also has it on her Instagram.
Nice.
Aww.
Well, next week, Queen Carolyn will be very happy. We have another interview coming your way. Can't say who.
Next week.
Can't say who it is yet.
Next week.
You're not saying? Oh my goodness! Oh yeah.
Next week is just recap.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
next
right.
week's the recap. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks.
Next week is eye candy for me. I don't know about you, Candace, but.
Well, listen.
No, it's not next week, Carolyn. It's in 2 weeks.
It's in 2 weeks. Yeah. But you know what, Carolyn? Between now and next Thursday, we're going to have plenty of eye candy. We're watching.
We have to end it, guys. We're going off.
Okay.
Happy
Everybody
weekend.
have a great weekend.
Happy soap watching. Good night, all.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Night.